Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cryptic Heartland, episode number 145. I am one of your hosts, Leo Fernandez. I'm the floating head in the chair over here, just for fun. And then we got Jason over there, sitting across the way.
How you doing?
And then we still got our friends, the dolls. Trying to see, and I apologize on this, I don't know if Facebook ever came on, so I'm trying to look real quick. I apologize. Yours at home. I don't think it did, so let me just fix something real quick here. I know exactly what it is. I almost anticipated this, and I apologize. Give me 2 seconds here to fix it. Oh, it says it's live. Come on, Facebook, what are you doing to me?
You know it's got to be funky like that.
Yeah, they drive me nuts. Facebook does. I wish we didn't have to use it. But that's what everybody does, so... oh shoot, I don't want to do that. God dang it.
Always technical difficulties with Facebook.
Yeah, they're terrible, like I said. And if we are live, hopefully viewers at home. I don't see anything on Facebook yet. Okay, give me a second here. I'll get that, like I said, fixed. Hang on 1 second. Oops, that's what I wanted.
Anyway, tonight is the, what number is this?
145.
145.
Yes,
Episode
sir.
145. Going to continue talking about some of the things that we were talking about last week, I bet.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago. Sorry. Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. Man, time flies.
Don't understand why that's got to be so difficult with Facebook.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg, you're listening. You know what I think of you.
You want me to put a post
Hey,
on?
there we go.
Are we good?
Says we are. Are we though? Give me a
Who
second.
knows?
Looking real fast. So far nobody's said anything negative about us. Kidding, of course. Oh, hang on. Let's just do this. Can we go live? Did it work? Anyone?
Where is everybody? I still don't see it though.
Oh my god, what a pain. Good. Apologize, people at home. I know this is not how we want to start the show, but
That's all right. We'll get it.
let me try this real quick here. 1 second. Oh shoot. Hang on. Just trying to do. Hang on, people. Okay. I think we're live, I think. Just trying to verify people. Sorry about that.
Yeah, there we go.
Did it go?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, what a mess.
Okay, we are live.
Yep, there we go. Alright, everybody. Hey, sorry about that, guys. Good old Facebook. Always messing us over. But anyways, we're live. I apologize. We'll do this all over again, the intro here. So this is episode number 145 of the Cryptic Heartland podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Leo Fernandez, and the man in the red shirt across the way is Mr. Jason. We apologize
Sorry, that
for
looked like a Hitler salute. But hey, how are you doing? I was like,
can't be doing that now.
Oh, I know. Sorry.
So anyways, we're live. Sorry we took off last weekend because of Labor Day weekend, and but we're back in action. As you can see, it's just Jason, myself, and then the two dolls. So
At least we got those.
yeah, definitely we'll have fun. We'll make it work. What's up, everybody? All the viewers at home, how are you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I do want to take just a quick moment of silence just to go over, for in honor of those that lost their lives 20 years ago for September 11th, were the day that changed most of our lives, of all of our lives, if you were around. I mean, I know Jason and I were definitely around at that time, so just want to give a quick, like I said, honor those that sacrificed their lives as a result of 9/11. Okay. All right, guys. What's up, Casey over there and Tiffany? How are you guys doing? Casey, stay safe over there. You're too close to the action, so stay safe over there, brother. Glad you could tune in for a little while tonight.
Actually, I think he's home.
He said he's over there right now.
Oh, is he?
Yep. Again.
So, okay.
Never ending world tour. Hey, Laura, how are you? Tonight we started this a couple weeks ago. We started doing we were talking about poltergeists and just different activity, and as you can see, if you missed that episode, it's episode number 144. We have two dolls set up by Jason over there in between us, and I know it's hard to see their faces because of the lights in here. These dolls were brought to us by Dan, who's not here tonight, but he got these dolls at an estate sale, and we've had some. If you watched that episode last time, we had some crazy things going on with the dolls. We got some interaction through the SB7 spirit box. K2 meter was going off and whatnot, and it seemed to be responding to the name of Rosemary, if I remember right. Which was the interesting.
Rosemary or Rosemarie?
Yeah, the interesting fact was I set up a camera that night after everybody went home for the evening out of the studio. I set a camera and started recording. Well, some interesting things happened. A couple of things. I came down after everybody left and started doing my own spirit box sessions and whatnot, and some KT readings and whatnot. But they didn't really respond. I don't know if that spirit left when Dan left, or if I don't know, because I set the camera up to record all night and it's plugged in. It wasn't even a battery. It's plugged in, and it wouldn't record. It kept failing. So I don't know if it's something to do with the dolls themselves. They didn't want to be seen on camera. I mean, literally, it would click on, and I noticed it was doing that when I first started recording.
Yeah.
I turned it on, and I was like, okay, it keeps turning off, so I turned it back on again. When I left, it started recording like it was going to do normally.
Right.
And then when I came in the next day, nothing was there. The footage was all nothing. I mean, it was just like, what the hell is that?
Did you hear any clicking?
No. I hear nothing. I did get some audio, but I haven't gone through all of it yet because it recorded for days. I let it sit down here for a while, and so I have to go through sift through all that audio. Other than what I heard in the studio that night, I mean, that's one thing I had heard so far on the audio recordings too.
Casey had a question there.
Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry about that. You did?
Said, I have to ask, what is a KT reading?
Oh, K2. Go ahead and hold it up.
Oh, yeah, K2.
Sorry, I probably sound like T. K2. We used that just because last time we had it, it was interacting. I don't know if you can try to turn it on, Jason. You can put it in front of the dolls. Hopefully it'll show up front of them. Well, see, right there. We're getting a little bit of a reading. I mean, it's going to yellow. And what's so fascinating about that last time we were here is it was actually yes and no, like call and response with us. So like I would tell it to stop and it would quit. Like right now, if you're there, if that's you making that go off, can you stop? Like, well, just trying to.
Thing is, it's like nothing's around it.
No, I mean, yes, we can manipulate it if we had a phone over there, but there's no phones over there, so I don't know.
It's not.
They can't see it. Turn it sideways, they can see.
I'm just.
So our equipment, all the equipment we use in the studio here is not really affecting it. I'm across the way here. There's just a tap over here next to me, matter of fact.
Okay.
So we'll leave it like that and see what happens. But it was going all the way to red last time, which was kind of interesting. I didn't understand that, but whatever. So yeah, the dolls were responding last time we were in studio. It's going crazy right now. I don't know what that means. Because Dan's not here tonight. I wish Dan was here so he could see.
Don't even know where Dan is.
Yeah,
he might be on vacation.
Yeah, we didn't know. He was talking about going on a cruise, and we couldn't remember if it was this week or not. We haven't heard from him, so that's all right though. But anyways, so
greetings
dolls,
everybody who keeps popping in.
I know.
That's awesome.
Yep. Hope everybody's doing okay.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
Ready to get things rolling and stuff. Let me turn my phone.
You're fine. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We're trying to get as much as we can with the world the way it is, with COVID and everything. We're trying to get back out there and do more events. What's the next one you have?
Let's see here. Potentially, as long as I can get enough people to go.
Right.
It's going to be up in Wamego. November 6th is the day they're looking at. Had a conference call with them earlier today to go over all the details. It's been a couple of years since we actually been there to do anything. We as a team and with Jason K, we went to the Columbian,
right.
Last year. Had some fun times there in the Columbian, which is, if you guys haven't gone out to Wamego to investigate with us or anything there, it's a blast. They're adding 2 more locations, so basically it's like investigating the town. Basically, not just the Columbian. Get to go to the Wizard of Oz Museum. This time they're going to have the winery and some other place. The Toto's Tacos. They're all wanting to be a part of this because I guess they are all having stuff happen. So
yeah.
So, but it's going to be different. We're going to try some new things about rotations and stuff like that, and like the winery is going to be all lights on. It's not going to have dark.
Okay.
So maybe a chance to prove that you don't always have to have the darkness in order to investigate the paranormal. We just do it because it's easier to view our equipment and gear, but
yeah, we use it for night vision.
But it's all good. It's fun. Yeah. They just didn't want us, knocking over bottles or anything like that. But it is part of their Booze and Brews event, so there will be alcohol. I think the winery was going to even have some wine for everybody.
Nice.
And stuff like that. So it's going to be a cool night. Several locations to investigate there, and just investigating the Columbian plus the Oz Museum is so much fun. It's pretty cool. Like, takes you back to your childhood.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
It's pretty cool. I love it.
Yeah, and that's November 6th. That's going to be as of right now. So, KC had a question about the K2 meter. What it actually does, KC, it does for. Oh my God, I'm so tired.
Come on, buddy.
I can't. It does the EMF readings, kind of like a millimeter does, or other meters do. Detects the electromagnetic field in the air, the atmosphere, or we know that ghosts can possibly manipulate that. We always get that static feeling, the cobweb effect, that kind of whole thing. But we just want to see if those dolls had anything attached to it as far as energy goes. I don't know why it's going off like that so much. It's last time.
Yeah, because if you take it and put it down somewhere else, it doesn't.
pull it off and towards the camera more. Again. Don't punch the dolls.
Sorry.
Turn it more towards nope.
Sorry.
Like that, yeah. See, so right away Jason took it off. There's barely nothing there. It just went to red. When you turn it sideways, they go to red? That's weird. So I don't know why it's doing that. Put it back on the dolls, close to the dolls. And now it's nothing. A little bit.
A little bit. I don't know.
So, but last time we were getting, like I said, positive, it was definite answers. And that was episode number 144 when we first started doing this. It's pretty cool. I mean, the fact that we had all that stuff going. But the thing that was really baffling to me, we were looking at ages and stuff like that. And I threw out a couple numbers, and even the viewers are actually doing the same thing too. Well, then we hit on the number 78, which I don't know. I thought that was very peculiar because this did come from an elderly woman's house, and I'm not saying that's who's attached to these dolls, but it could have been. I mean, at the moment, who knows? It could be somebody else.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Actually, I just had a thought, but I won't say. So anywho. Thought that was interesting, and then we hit on the name Rosemary, and I thought that was kind of cool too. Just the fact that these dolls Dan had got were ones he got right before he went down to Arkansas to a location he went down there for. And
he just stopped at a state sale and saw these in a crib, and when him and Dana were talking about it, he said the crib started rocking.
Yeah. By
itself, so he bought 2 of them.
Yep, and the dolls they like clowns for some reason.
That's right.
There you go, right there, see.
Too bad Rose's not here,
A clown. But yeah, so we'll just keep it on. Like I said, we'll monitor it throughout the night. I don't know why it's so...
I'm hoping that they, chuck the K2 at me or something.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I'll have to go back and watch the videos, because I don't remember them being that far over toward Dan normally sits. I thought they were square in the middle, but who knows? They probably were, I'm sure.
Not sure.
We were trying to give
We
them
moved
names.
them a couple of times.
Yeah, and I might when you just punched them. So.
Well, true.
We gave them some names. We didn't know. I told you that one on the outside looks like that Happy Death Day. I think it was. His character Cuddles, whatever his name was. So that's what that one on the left looks like, and then the one on the right. Somebody said Clementine. Is that they said? I can't remember. Some viewer said that. So.
Clementine, yeah. I think so.
So we don't know, but.
Back to the.
What's up?
Wamigo event, just real quick. Marlon made a good point. If you guys do go to that, all proceeds go to the Colombian.
Oh,
so
thank you, Marlon,
that's
for
what
pointing that out.
That is what the event is actually for, is to help the Colombian and everything that they do. And I can't wait to get you out there someday. That place, you would absolutely love it.
Definitely. I'll get there eventually.
You say that.
I say it every time, yeah.
You say that every year.
Now. No, it's been a while since I've been out in the field, actually, outside of private investigations locally.
Your first public event, though, I'm going to make you do all the talking.
I'm just going to stand there blankly, looking at you like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
You're going to be like a kid in a candy store having fun.
Yep. So, trying to think of what's been around lately, in the news lately or anything, or if anything. I've seen a couple of videos here and there. We were trying to find one that I wish I could...
Maybe one of the viewers saw it. I don't know. We both saw it on Instagram. It was, can't remember which site it was, but it was on a surveillance camera, and it just happened to be pointed right in the right direction, But I think it was a group of dolls that were grouped together, and in the middle was this creepy face that just pops up and stares at the camera.
Yeah.
We were going to show it tonight, but... Yeah, I failed it.
Well, I did too, because I had other things, and we'll show other videos tonight, so stay tuned. We have other videos that we'll kind of go over Poltergeists and stuff like that.
And then I saw on the internet that Miss Renee is Mrs. now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Renee got married on Friday.
Wow, I didn't even know.
On our team. Yeah, she did a small private,
That's cool.
Family. I didn't get a chance to go because I had to work, and Leo, my son, was in a tournament all weekend.
Yeah.
But she's going to probably do a bigger, grander one once things kind of calm down and maybe next year, so hopefully. But yeah, congratulations Renee and Ross. She got married over the weekend.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Renee.
Yep. So I'm trying to think if I saw anything else other than that.
No, honestly, no. I know Josh Hurd and Johnny Hauser are on TV again. They got interviewed with Destination Fear.
Yeah,
I
there's
believe.
a season finale for Destination Fear. If you guys haven't ever watched that, it's on Discovery Channel, Discovery Plus mostly, and it's the main guy on the show is Dakota Layden, who's he was to be one of the cameramen and been on a couple episodes back in the day of Ghost Adventures, and the more recent years. He's been in the big paranormal. I think, if I remember right, the first episode he was on ever was kind of like a fan thing where he got to come in and do it, I think he just reached out to him, and they're like, this kid's been reaching out to us. Well, let's give him a shot, see what he has to offer. I want to say his dad and him came on the show at Ghost Adventures, and they got locked in a cell for like so long, and apparently the Empress was acting enough to where he's like, okay. Like he kept him on, and he did a lot of behind the scenes filming.
He helped out with camera work and stuff.
But him and his sister, Chelsea, and then they have two of their buddies they've been friends with forever, Tanner and Alex. They go in haunted locations, and it's been around the Midwest because that's where they're based out of mostly.
Yeah.
Now Dakota lives in Vegas, of course, and everybody else kind of spreads out through Ohio in that region. But so they've been going around. This is season 3, and it's been getting very popular. This season they went to Missouri State Pen, which we were supposed to go to a couple years ago. That's when the famous tornado hit the town and flooded everywhere.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to leave that Friday, and it happened Thursday night. So I took it as a stern warning to not go out there, obviously, and stay away. But we'll get out there eventually.
But since then, Corey's Peyton.
She went last year.
She went last year with her cousins and
yeah.
had a good time. They actually saw a shadow person.
Nice.
Down like in one of the cells where nobody was at. They were just left the area, and they kept seeing this person like kind of peeking out and looking at him and all that.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I want to go. I'll get there eventually. There's a couple other places I'm going to try to get to also too along the way. Some famous ones, but for the season finale for season 3 of Destination Fear, they did a two-place investigation. They went to some friends of ours, and who've had on the show, our buddy Josh Hurd out at Malvern Manor, and then also Johnny Hauser out at Villisca Axe Murder House. They were on the show and briefly just doing interviews and stuff like that, telling the story kind of a thing. And
still cool. That's awesome for them.
They divided it up. Usually, the whole point of Destination Fear is to go out and they test their limits basically. And they there's 4 of them. They do different challenges to each other. Like they'll say, okay, whatever the case may be, where they're at. One of them got handcuffed to a cell the whole time, whatever, for like I can't remember how many hours. Why they left him there by himself, and you're just stuck in the dark by yourself. They don't use flashlights mostly. They try not to.
We should have done that when we were in Oklahoma.
Yeah. We did.
We should have actually tied ourselves in the house.
Yeah, test your limits. But they also at some point they divide up. They pick the 4 places. This was 4 of them. The most active haunted places that scared them the most.
Yeah.
And then they have to go sleep in there the rest of the night by themselves. And a lot of shit usually happens and whatnot. But going back to Talcott, we've done that a couple of times. We did the thing where on the whim I looked at, it was you, myself, and Jeremiah, and I said in the house, this old beat up, fallen on, caved in roof, whatever, and everything, house in Tahlequah. I was like, okay, one of us has to stay here. And I looked at Jason, and they were like, it's going to be you, basically. So Jason's like, I'll do it. So he stayed in the house by himself.
I want to just prove that I could do it.
Yeah. The house was pretty, that's the place I've seen things run at me, whatever, and, that's where the brothers got scratched.
Beat
kids,
up and stuff like that.
And things like that. Just different things, but challenged Jason to stay there for a little bit. He stayed there in about 45 minutes to an hour. I can't remember how long it was.
Yeah.
You were there for quite a while.
It was just silent, know. But
or was it?
I know. I had the whole time I was, felt like I was being watched. But it was this constant water drip that I heard inside.
Oh, yeah.
Constant water drip.
See, and I don't know if it's just, I'm sure that was, because that was the time it rained real bad, didn't it?
Yeah, it had rained on us.
So, and it's dilapidated, falling in on itself, and it's just...
But that's the only sound I heard was that.
Yeah, which can be, psychologically...
After a while, it
wears on you. Yeah, you're like, okay, all I'm hearing is that, and it's like, it reminds me of when we do, like, the Gansfield experiments.
I've done a little bit.
Yeah, you did it
at the shop.
The 100th episode we did, yeah. But
we should have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. But it's supposed to, psychologically, it's supposed to, wear on you, basically. That's the whole point of those things. And so, yeah, I could see how that water dripping consistently. It's the same thing we've
And
been on
just the
investigation
fear,
with crickets.
you know,
Yeah.
I just felt like somebody was watching. So,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sure
you know.
there was.
Yeah.
So, so Jason did that. We also did it. You guys did it. I didn't get a chance to do that because I was back at the main area with the cemetery. They put a chair out there. Oh, you weren't there for that, were you?
Yeah, I was.
Or were you for that? I couldn't remember
Oh
if you were
yeah,
there.
I watched Roth
That
fall
when he
right
fell
out of
down?
the chair.
So we did it in a cemetery out in Tahlequah also too, where they put a chair in the middle of it. And this cemetery is pretty odd itself.
It's the oddest thing.
And it's pitch black out there. Aside from the lights, you'll see these free floating orbs. I don't want to call them orbs, but they're anomalies that shine different colors.
Well, and when we had the she squatchers on, you know, they're saying that those were fairies.
And they're tied in usually with Native American.
And they're multiple colors.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, you know, a
And
white
each one-
orb or...
Oh, sorry, Jason.
No, go ahead.
Each one means something different. You know,
Yeah.
the red one's supposed to be an angrier spirit, potentially. And, you know, we've seen a lot of red ones out there. We've seen green ones. We've seen orange, blue, white.
They're flying all around us. At one point during our previous intro,
Yes.
you had a clip of you walking forward.
Right.
I think it was Casey that was filming. Was it?
I don't know if he was
Because
there.
it wasn't you.
That was...
Because you're in view of the camera. Maybe I was.
I think it was Renee behind
Was
us
it
at
Renee?
the time. Yeah.
But as you're walking in the cemetery, you can see like 2 or 3 like buzz right past you.
Oh, that's a different one. No, that's a different video. You're confusing two videos.
Am I? Because
The
I thought
intro-
that was.
The red one you saw in the intro was when we were walking in the house we put you in. It was outside that house. We were
Oh,
walking
was
towards
it?
Yeah.
Right outside the
Now,
house.
on the YouTube page, Everyday Legacy Paranormal, there is a video from Tahlequah that I have, the cemetery.
Gotcha,
Where
that one.
I'm actually filming. What I'm doing is I'm holding the camera up like this as I walk. So that's why you see me in camera sometimes.
Right.
And otherwise I'm focused. I'm holding it. I'm actually filming. That's why you're in it, Renee's in it, and then all of us I'm holding it up like this. And that's when we see them in the cemetery. That's the one that darted past me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, which I never saw with my own eyes in the moment.
Yeah.
If you would have heard me respond accordingly,
Yeah.
not like startled, but like, oh shit, there it goes right there, because I'm pretty animated when it comes to stuff like that. But
I'm getting all my facts confused.
no, well, it's the same place, but I
Right.
mean, just different. There is two videos that are similar. One,
Yeah.
like I said, the intro had the one with
That was
as
over
you
by
and I
the
were walking in.
house.
Yeah, we
Okay.
were walking in towards the house. Yep, and
Wow.
there's like a flashing red light up in the distance.
But
over the
on
house.
camera, it looked huge.
Oh,
It
that
wasn't
one
like it
was
wasn't
big.
a bug or a bird or
No.
anything, but it was just oddly shaped and
Right.
just flies,
Yeah.
streaks right past.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
And yeah, I don't know what that is. Like I said, because it had movement to it. It's not like, and I know, because we questioned it that night. Are we seeing, fireflies that night? And fireflies, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't sound right, but it was. They weren't those, because we saw it on the property multiple times. We went down to the edge of the property, looked for these things. They weren't there. They're in the forest. We didn't. We could never debunk them with where
Yeah.
these things were.
We can't really debunk a lot of stuff that we had
Yeah.
there.
Right.
I mean, every time we went, it was something different. But
Yeah. And it's always ever
But
changing.
see, I feel like that would be about every case we would do if we got the opportunity to go back multiple
Sure.
times. I feel like it's going to change. Like every time we
Yeah.
go to the depot, it changes.
Yeah.
We go to the shop, it changes.
Well, even Tahlequah, it's changed.
Yeah.
When we used to go out to Granola, that changed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's similar in some of the haunts, but then some of it altered a little bit. Each time it grew stronger and different. So.
And then Wilson, what got different?
Yeah.
Um,
Which I always pose that question to our buddies. Like speaking of Josh Hurd and
Mhm.
Johnny Hauser, I said now that because the places they have that they're like we'll call them caretakers of so many people come there. All the paranormal
Right.
shows come there. Different teams even come there throughout the year. I asked Johnny, especially with the Liska Axe Murder House, where the 6 people were murdered, 4 children, the parents. I was like, are they still there? The parents and the children, and he blatantly said, I don't think so. I think mostly, if it is, it's just a couple of them. But he said, I think more people have come in there that have stirred other things, or maybe brought something with them, or whatever. The rituals they do there, or something has altered
yeah.
that piece. And maybe they are still there. Maybe they're just like in hiding or stepped back because they're afraid of what's there now. Because what's confused me on that statement, which we need to get him back. We'll get him back on the show, Johnny, because we need the part 2 to his first episode we did.
Right.
Because I want to ask him because he He said he never watched his movie that was out, documentary out about himself on that was there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's capturing all kinds of voices, kids' voices, and
Right.
the two neighbor kids that stayed with them, her name was Inez, and God, I can't remember their name. Regardless, there are two neighbor girls that stayed with the four siblings. They were young kids.
Right.
At the Liscum axe murder house, should I say? They seem to be interacting most with him there. The main family didn't. I don't know what that means. And I don't want to give away too much for the Destination Fear episode because they hit on some interesting facts that surprised me and it happened multiple times. So I would like to know just what was real and what wasn't, because if they really hit on who they talk about the killer, we'll just put it that way, and maybe have an answer, maybe. So I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
So because it's never been only one person got tried for it and multiple times and got acquitted.
Well, one person admitted to it.
Well, yeah, but he was kind of whacked.
But he was whack, So.
Yeah. So it's like how much of it was real, how much wasn't. I don't know. Well, nobody knows because the thought was that somebody came on a train or was left on a train, whatever, after they did this possibly or whatever. They've never found the murder weapon to my knowledge. Well, I'm trying to remember if that's the one they have on display. They think is the murder weapon. Not at the house, in a shop down in town somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. But it was an axe regardless. But they never really caught the person who did it. And that was back in the, early 20s maybe? Is that what it was?
I think around that time.
I have to look again. But
yeah.
So all these years, it's one of the longest running unsolved mystery, or murder, should I say. But no, like I said, Johnny said he thinks it's changed. 1912, it says.
1912.
Happened. Yeah. But, I don't know, it's crazy. This says 8 people. I thought it was 2 parents. Oh, that is 8, okay. There's 6 kids. There's 4 regular siblings, and then their actual siblings, and then 2 neighbor kids that stayed the night with them.
Right.
So, and the parents, of course. But the thing is, though, it's like, I've always questioned it. Was it just one person, really? Because,
I don't know.
I mean, if you're murdering somebody with an axe...
The kids would have woke up to
well,
screams.
The parents.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. You could just sit there and take it. And nobody heard screams next door because there was a house next door. Or that's who, the next morning, she was surprised.
Who's to say, there wasn't 4 or 5 people.
Yeah. Was it multiple people or was it just one?
They were just hiding up in the attic.
That's what they think. They hit the killer.
Well, they found the pile of cigarettes.
Oh, that's
up
right.
there.
All the butts. Like somebody's been sitting there smoking, watching, waiting for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's so bizarre.
Waited till they all went to bed. That's the creepy factor of it. That's
yeah.
BTK kind of did that, He'd hide out in people's homes waiting for them to come home.
Yep.
But that's just creepy in itself.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's bizarre. That people, I mean, the fact that you could sit there and...
You're just running it through your head.
And wait, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's bizarre.
The fact that, if it had something to do with the husband and, we'll kill both of them and then we'll leave. But they took out the entire group of people.
Innocent
all
kids.
The little kids.
Yeah, which was terrible. Yeah, that's what makes it even worse. And it's unfortunate because they have, of course, the kids, the whole family's pictures up in the place itself, and it's just like,
So all their photos are still there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole family, and even, I think they even brought in pictures for the 2 non-family members, those 2 girls that stayed in there. Because they slept down in a downstairs basement, or like a main level basement where the girls were, the neighbor girls were, and everybody else was upstairs.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This whole thing's crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we need to venture out there eventually, too. We just...
We'll do that and...
Go to Melbourne, because
it's
I'm like 40 minutes away from each other. There's some stretch.
Chris was actually, reaching out to me today about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did he watch the episode or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so he wants to go, yeah.
And he wants to go. He's like, they're only 35 minutes away from each other.
We have free, anytime we want to go out there, we just got to make a trip out there and plan it with them guys, because, that's loud. I was just curious because the K2 hadn't stopped for a minute, now it's blinking again. Yeah, I don't know. But I forgot we were going with this. We were talking about something. You remember what the whole point of that was? Oh, talking about Destination Fear. And
Yeah.
just how Johnny and
That's
Josh
just some
run
of the
show.
new
Yeah.
stuff that's going on right now, and it's just
Yeah.
awesome that Johnny and Josh got a chance to be on it
Yeah.
and tell their experiences a little bit too. So
Yeah, they've been on a bunch of shows like that.
and ours.
Oh yeah, that too. Of course, Cryptic Harlan, they've been on us. We've been on theirs. We've been on Josh's.
Yeah,
with
you and I.
Jason.
Yeah.
The Ectoplasm podcast. So yeah, they're good dudes. We'll definitely have to get them back on the show sooner than later.
Yeah.
If we can pry them away from their busy lives, they've been doing a lot of filming. I saw
Yeah.
Johnny's been doing a lot, and
Which is what we need to do.
yeah, yep. So, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, another one was our good buddy David Oman. He's getting ready, coming up through the month of October. A couple of nights, he's going to have about 20 people come investigate at his place.
Kind of what he did 2 years ago.
That one was different. That one 2 years ago, or a year ago, whatever it was, 2 years ago, a year ago, was just a few people came in like he knew. And
Okay.
they set up a kind of like a live stream feed for 2 days, 2 nights, remember, on a Friday, Saturday night, and investigated. Now, this is like kind of like our public events we do. I know he's been kind of holding off for a while because of COVID.
Yeah.
He wouldn't let most people anybody come in his house over the last year or so, which I understand completely. And he said he's told us to come out there as soon as COVID, has gone away. So I've been there the one time and I had a good time. So once again, it's one of those places
brag.
we have free reign to go out there. Too bad it's in Beverly Hills, California. So
Yeah.
which I'm always open to going to California.
I'll take the train.
every time. Well, no, I've never been on a train, so
Yeah, I'll take the train.
I don't know, man, because it is about a 3-hour total trip.
I'll sleep it.
I'm not saying from an airplane.
Yeah.
It's a
I'll
2 or
just
3 hour trip, depending on how you do it. And it's like I can spend more time there and let's get there in 3
I know.
hours, or
I know. It's just the whole flying thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all.
Never have been a fan.
That's why I don't know how Casey can do it. I know he flies differently sometimes, but yeah, he flies really across the country.
There's
Or across the world, I'm sorry.
There's a few of us on the team that I don't think likes flying, so.
I think most of us, from what I've been talking to everybody. So, yeah, well, it is what it is. We'll get out there eventually, again, hopefully. So, trying to think of anything else I've seen recently. It's been kind of I know there's been a couple UFO videos
Yeah.
here and there, but it's still the same old. I mean, nothing definite. And
Shaky camera work.
yeah, same thing with Bigfoot. There's been a couple Bigfoot videos circulating.
Has there?
Yeah. I just can never find the one. There was one at, I don't know, it looked like an actual ape out there. And it's just like, which, once again, is there an actual ape roaming the woods out there?
Excuse me.
That's bizarre.
Well, I mean, people do. I watched this one show where they talked about people were, they'd get chimps as babies and they try to raise them, but as soon as they hit maturity and their hormones kicked in, they became violent. They would attack their owners.
Right.
Some people would get their faces ripped off,
Sure.
literally. So they were just dumping them off in the woods. So here in America, there's chimps out and about in the woods and stuff like that people might run across.
Yeah.
From a distance, if they're standing up and just kind of looking at you, you're like, holy shit, what's that?
Yeah,
But of course, that's small.
the chimps, I was going to say,
They're
chimps
small.
smaller
Yeah.
versus what they're capturing on camera.
But it's kind of, they're out there, so why couldn't there be other stuff?
Sure. You hope not, because
Yeah.
I know when we went out to Tahlequah, going back to that, we experienced what we think is Bigfoot out there. What we were hearing, the closest we could get to the sound quality was a silverback gorilla. So once again, if we're out there and these things are roaming out there in the woods, what the hell are we doing out there? We'll be killed instantly,
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Or become
crazy.
the gorilla. Bitch. Just saying.
You hope, sure. But, and then I also saw, what was the one I saw? There's this weird video. Somebody captured an upright goat walking around on 2 hind legs, looking like a person walking. Is in a barn
And a
area
goat?
with other sheep and stuff like that. Yeah, it's on 2 legs walking upright, and it looked creepy as hell, man. If there was ever gonna be a demonic beast, that was it. It's not though, but still. Renee's talking about some things she's been watching on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see what those are. trying to think of anything else I've seen. So I don't know. I know we talked briefly a little bit last week about, or 2 weeks ago, about poltergeists and stuff like that. Have you wavered your opinion anymore since what they are, or what causes these things, or what's the meaning behind them?
I don't know.
So like I said, we've encountered some poltergeist activity multiple times. We've had rocks thrown at us. We've had.
So what's the difference between a poltergeist? Is it human, just angry, or is it actually something else? And that
Just
really wouldn't be a poltergeist. It'd be whatever non-human is.
More the activity, I believe. Just the fact that you can move things.
And what's your definition of an elemental?
An elemental?
Yeah.
Those are more the ones that come from the ground. Like, you always think about the elements, air,
Right.
water, earth, or fire, whatever, and all that stuff. So they're thought to be beasts that are created from the ground, or not beasts, entities that are created from the ground, or just from the earth itself. They're going to be here all the time. They're not ones that we can get rid of. They're a little different than your typical hauntings where you can maybe move ghosts on, or demonic cases, you can maybe have somebody come in and bless the place, or exercise the place, whatever, and move those on if possible. Which I don't know. What's the matter?
Nothing. I thought I heard something over here. They have we encountered that you know of
What?
an elemental?
I don't know. Because I thought the place we call Patty House, I thought that was one.
Right.
And I don't think it was.
You don't think it was just screwing with you and the phone and all that stuff when it said what it did?
Could be. Could have been just a mischievous ghost, excuse me, that decided to turn
Right.
the phone and start typing. But the fact it kept saying it was a demon, and then it said, when I asked, "Are you really a demon? Or what are you, a demon?" And it turns the screen on the actual phone and starts. You can hear it clicking, the typing, that type of sound, and it says maybe, maybe not. I don't know what to think. It just had a weird. It had a weird feel the whole time we were there. I don't know. See, and this is the second time that we were at a location where we were in a basement, and it was cinder block built basement, like typical basements, and
Right.
there was, for some reason, an exposed hole in the wall itself, exposed to the earth, where this thing, I felt strongly that's where it came from, whatever that area.
Right.
Not maybe, but it seemed like that was the root of everything. How strong the activity came or occurred was from that place. We had another place we went to, same thing. We were in a basement where the thing said it was a demon again, and that's when we had the infamous. We were doing the Gansville experiment down there, and I felt the snake-like creature by my legs. And then Roth and them did a Ouija board session, and they gave us a name, which said it was a female serpentine-like creature. I don't know. I mean, once again, it came from, I feel like, the earth, itself, or the ground in that area, the hole. Okay, I was trying to figure out what they were saying. But yeah, I feel like once again it came out of a cinder block basement again, and then the earth was exposed in one area. Well, you guys were watching it live on Facebook, so you guys weren't going to go that night, and I think it was you that said you saw eyes behind them, or somebody did, Dan or somebody.
I saw
eyes behind us.
At one point, I was standing not far from you.
Uh-huh.
I looked in the far bedroom, well, one of the rooms that had a bed.
Right.
But it was almost as if that little short creature thing that y'all had seen was standing on the bed, and I could see like eye shine every time I had put my flashlight back there.
Yeah, that was way in the very back.
Yeah, and it was just like kind of rocking back and forth, and you could see the eyes.
And that's the place we said we also had poltergeist activity with the broom levitating, flying over.
Just as Roth and I and Cody were walking by.
Well, I was standing right there too, but I was facing towards you guys.
Yeah, I was coming towards you, wasn't I?
I wish I would have looked. I wish I had the camera pointing in the right direction.
I know. I looked down to see, what was over here, and I saw the broom, and then we kept walking. It was probably, a good 2-3 feet away.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't close to us.
And
yeah.
Just flew over.
Yeah, and it was loud enough, but...
And it was leaned up like this, so it was like something grabbed it and flung it.
Yeah, we had just heard a female spirit. That's why I was fixated towards you guys, because Cody and Rose were talking about it. And I heard it too, so I pan over to them. And not even seconds later, that's when that broom got picked up and thrown, whatever.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we've had that multiple times. That's a true definition of poltergeist. Now, can a ghost manipulate objects? Probably, and stuff. But once again, we've been in locations where 2-3 times we've had different locations where rocks were thrown at us, and well, the one wasn't even a rock; it was a bolt or something, like a metal shard or something, because we found what we think what it was, where it hit, and it wasn't anything. It didn't fit. It fit no rhyme or reason to be in this location. And
right.
I looked at the ceiling, I looked everywhere, and there was nothing it could have fell from. You could hear this thing, getting chucked at us. It was just bizarre. But that's definitely poltergeist activity when things are moved like that. Well, hell, I don't know how much the duffel bag that you had experienced over at the house where the murder happened, over in Hutchison. You had a heavy tote bag or something.
It was just a big plastic tote full of toys.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought
like
I thought it was like a backpack tote.
No, it was a plastic tote.
Okay, once again though.
Yeah.
That thing
heavy. Had toys in it, and it like flung when I was kind of calling her out.
You can hear
instead
it.
of being sympathetic about what happened to her,
sure,
I was saying, what about what you did to all these people?
Yeah.
And then, and I am sitting right next to her, the bloody spot and everything like that.
Right.
But, and then it flung.
Well, you can hear it on recorders. It wasn't caught on camera, but you can hear it on recorders. You can hear the thing sliding, like, it's like loud as can be, and you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, because I don't even think we had cameras pointing it. We should have. If we get to go again, which, I think Dan has connection to that house, which none of you all...
Nobody has, just you.
Yeah, none of y'all have ever been there, so I would love to get back in there to do that. I mean, that was not long before you came along.
Yeah. I was going to say it's probably months before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to do a test, I think, where we bring in like a tote like that and fill it up with something and see if we can recreate that and see if we can get it to move.
Well, just sit me down and let me talk to her.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can piss her off.
So in that case, do you think it was poltergeist or do you think it was because of the spirits?
I think it was her. See, I was always told, and what I read was that, poltergeists are mostly just very angry spirits that are just, wanting to screw with you to either get you out or cause you harm in some way. I don't know.
I mean, they say it is a spirit. Like I said, when I read the definition last time, it was a noisy ghost is what they call them. It is a type of ghost or spirit that is responsible for physical disturbances such as loud noises and objects being moved
it's like they
or
go
destroyed.
Try to make you crazy or something because they just keep screwing with everything.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it does say early claims of spirits that supposedly harassed and tormented their victims. So it dates back to the 1st century. But they became more common in the early 17th century, it says. Like I said, it is a German word, means noisy ghost. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we have experienced it. Sorry, my phone's going off. I apologize, people at home. But we have experienced. I'm trying to think if there's any other locations other than, like I said, the one in Granola to Wilson to the Patty House to another location in Wichita.
That's my foot.
Do what?
Oh, I'm making noises
gotcha.
over here. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
There's probably more, I'm sure.
Just about. It seems like here lately, we go to places that things are being thrown or moved.
Mm-hmm.
While we're there, just like we went to a private location. You didn't get to go to that one, but Jake goes to sit down, and a cowboy hat gets like thrown at him.
Which the cowboy hat was way up on top of, on a big shelf that was
not anywhere near him
that he couldn't reach.
Yep.
And
it bounces off of him, so it had kind of like some force, and it's laying like 2 or 3 feet away from him, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
But that was cool.
Yeah, and we've experienced places where things would bang on a door, slammed a door, banged on something, whatever, real noise, like real loud and angrily. Or, I mean, on not even necessarily on command, just doing it.
What's
because
your
he did it.
scariest moment?
For what?
Anything.
My scariest moment? Oh,
Yeah.
shit, I don't even know. Gotta think about it. Would you have one in mind for yourself?
Oh, a few.
Go ahead.
A few.
I have to think about mine.
You know, the forum was always kind of one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I started first going there, I was kind of terrified to. But probably one of the freakiest moments that I've ever had was when going up into to where the organ room was.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
going up there.
Right.
And I got away from the group and I was going up those rickety stairs and I closed the door and I just stood there.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing I know, I hear like weird conversation going on up above. And I know nobody's up there,
Yeah.
but I could hear two guys talking and it wasn't any of the group because I knew for a fact nobody was up there.
Right.
But for some reason, it just gave me the willies. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I could stay only like maybe 5 minutes, and it almost sounded like they were like, I don't know if they knew I was there, but it sounded like they were gonna start coming over to me, you know. And I was just
Right.
like, I had my back to the top of the stairs, and I'm facing the door, you know, so I can, you know, bolt out if I needed to.
Yeah.
But I heard shuffling of feet up there, and I turned around. I was just expecting to see two guys just staring at me and stuff. That freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But since then, you know, not too much.
Sure.
It was all of my earlier times doing stuff, you know, especially like when I went up to St. Joe, Missouri, and did the whole
Glore.
Glore Psychiatric Hospital.
Yeah.
And I dragged my parents there too for but it's the fact of having a medium there. Misty was
Right.
there, and just some of the things that were happening there that night, that it just freaked me out because we had the place pretty much to ourselves
Yeah.
and everything, so had the whole run of the place. It was cool, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've become kind of jaded to some of this stuff just because we've done it for so many years now. And yes, when voices happen, noises happen, or you know, door slam or something,
That's
it
the
doesn't
stuff you
frighten me.
you
Just
want
I want
it.
to go towards it and see what
Yeah.
it is. And I think the thing I can think of. I mean, I know a couple, but for sure, like I said, the granola case where the very last time we were there, and I could see the thing pacing back and forth because it was dark in there, but there was some barely ambient light from the bedroom, and we had I don't remember if we had a camera pointed that way, but anyways, I could see the thing pacing back and forth in front of the door, and we're in pitch black, but you can still see this shadow, but then it's also kind of giving off a red kind of a hue, which is weird because I don't know if it was getting angrier. And I see it, so I'm kind of not really taunting him. I'm telling him, well, oh, you're so big and bad. You're over there just pacing. Come over here and do something, whatever. I'm tired of you just pacing. You're just getting mad. Big whoop, whatever, And that's when I got shoved from behind. So it wasn't that thing that shoved me. Something else shoved me, I believe. I don't know what it was to this day.
Right.
But the fact that I got shoved from behind, that's unnerving, whatever, Just the fact that, holy shit, I just been not necessarily just touched. We've been touched lots of times, but physically thrown. Kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And my reaction was, holy shit, I think that was what I said, and it was kind of a startling, my voice, you can hear my voice. It startled me, I'm not going to lie.
Right.
I'm not going to say, it didn't freak me out. But that's also, when I went back to listen to the recorder, that's the girl I told you was saying, don't cry mommy, to the psychic, whatever that was with me. And she was freaking out because she didn't see it coming either, I thought that was interesting. But that I thought it was weird because it was myself. I said Claire was in the middle of us, and then the psychic. Claire didn't get touched. I mean, it went around her to touch both of us, like to shove both of us or touch us, whatever. Right before then, out in the yard, I don't remember Misty or not.
Yeah.
She had some tendencies or whatever. She could pick up on some things a little better than some people too, and she had just got shoved right before then too, out in the yard.
Right.
The reason they knew it because they heard Claire and Jamie scream, and they're like, "What the hell's going on in the house?" And so people came in. Ben came in like, "What's going on, guys?" Right after that, and we were recanting what happened, and we ended up coming outside. And that's when they said, well, that's weird because Misty just also got shoved out in the yard or touched a little bit. And it's like, that's. So,
Wow.
like, it targeted people that really knew that it could pick up on them, whatever, or, see them or whatever you want to call it. Because, like I said, I was seeing this thing pace back and forth. That was also, I don't remember if you remember the very, very first time we went out to that case. We were all outside, and there was nobody in the house, and something started banging on the doors from the outside. Or we were all by the porch, and something from inside was banging on the door. We could hear the banging. We're like, what the hell? Did you guys just hear that? And they had an old screen door. You could hear it banging, and I could hear like sounds, but I couldn't tell what it said. And I went back to listen to the recorders. It said, "Hey, let me out!" Like it was just toying with us. So it's like, what would have happened if we opened that door with something that came walking out? Who knows? Or
Right.
was it just a ghost screwing with us? Kind of a thing. But the fact this thing was saying, "Hey, let me out of here," kind of a thing. It's just like, this is weird. But this house was one of the houses that definitely did have poltergeist activity. This is the house we mentioned last time that had the Bibles. The husband and wife
Right.
each had their own Bibles.
Which I still
Disappear.
think a lot of it was stemming from the act, because this was a double wide.
Sure.
But then there's that farmhouse that was just
Yeah.
across the dirt road right
Right.
there, where they said the landlord can't keep anybody in that house.
Right.
They found like a noose up in the attic.
Yeah.
Weird things. People would move in, they'd be out within a day or two.
Yeah.
They just couldn't, and then he couldn't keep anybody in. And that's when myself, Ben, and Larry were outside
Right,
talking,
walking the
and we were
property.
walking the property.
Mm-hmm.
We went over there, and when we were walking over, we didn't know if anybody was living in that house or not. So
Yeah.
here we are, like middle of the night, we're trespassing. So we go over to the window, and we're kind of like looking in the kitchen and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it was either Ben or Larry who reached up and just kind of pounded on the glass a little bit.
Right.
And we were just like, okay, nobody's here. They
Yeah.
would have heard that.
Right.
They would have came out and been like, I'm calling the cops. But nobody's there. So we turned to walk away, and something from the inside of the
Right.
house pounded back at the window. We
Yeah.
spun around, looked, there's nobody. We got flashlights everywhere.
Right.
No one's there. We look in the living room, there's only a recliner
Yeah.
in the middle of the living room. Nothing else. And then as we're looking in the window, we hear footsteps
All
in
in the yard.
in all the dry leaves and everything
Yeah.
coming around. So we're like, oh God, this
Somebody's
is it.
here.
This is it. We're gonna get caught. And it rounds the corner, and then
Yeah.
there's nothing there. No one. So we go back to the yard, and to our client's yard, and we're standing there talking, and as we're talking, we both see this shadow figure run from the farmhouse over to the client's house,
Right.
back to the back of it. Like,
Right.
you see full form of a figure running, but it was all shadow.
Which
It's crazy.
I don't know if you remember. I think it was the same trip or the trip before that. It may have been the same one. That's when I saw it run up from that same area in
Yeah.
broad daylight.
Oh, yeah.
And the same girl, the psychic girl, that's why I think it's the same trip. She was on the porch at the time, and I was out in the yard further away from everybody. And I think you and I were talking out there with Ben by this tree over there that had some significance. The tree did. I seen the thing in broad daylight run from behind the house towards the street, and then I lost sight of it. And the psychic said she had saw it run towards us, so it like did an L shape towards us. She never knew I had saw what I had seen until we talked later on about it,
Right.
and that's when she mentioned, "Oh, that's weird. I saw that thing run towards you guys towards the street." So, and it's the same shadow thing that you saw.
Yeah. Do you remember the night I was there with you guys, and it was kind of dark? It was kind of cold out, and you guys like, went to the truck or whatever.
The guard,
and went and stayed there and just kind of keep an eye on the house and everything.
That was the same night, I believe.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
do you remember what you saw across the way with the face peeking behind from the tree?
Yeah, I remember
Because
a
Ben and
face,
I
yeah.
and Larry both saw. We all three saw this figure, just like white face that stood out in the darkness,
Mhm.
peek out from behind the tree next to the farmhouse.
Right.
And then we didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
We just went inside, took our rotation, and then when I asked you, I said, "So did you see it?" Because I was curious, what did you see?
Right.
And you're like, "Oh, not much," but he's like, "I swear there's a face that was peeking out from behind the tree," and
Yeah.
the three of us were like, "Oh my God, yes."
Yeah. what the whole significance of that tree is, the owners had kids.
Yeah.
And one of the oldest kids, she was young at the time. I think she was 8 or 9 at the time, maybe even 7. I don't remember how old she was. She was younger. She started seeing this person or a thing in their house, and it scared her so much that she was frightened. I mean, she was really frightened behind it. The thing had like long hair. It was a girl. She thought it was another girl she saw, but it was missing its face, or the eyes looked like it had been burned off or something. It was like black eyes, hollow.
Had a scar on the face.
Yeah, so she, like as if she'd been in a fire maybe or something, or whatever. After the very first time we went there, we told that you need to stop bugging, stop pestering the family, or else we're going to come back and ask you. We're going to try to remove you.
Right.
And they said they quit seeing it inside the house. They said they saw out on the edge of the property by that tree, which was ironic as it being the thing, whatever,
Right.
Because I remember we came back, because they were calling us pretty much almost every weekend. You guys need to come back. You guys need to come back. It's like, wow, it's like a 2-hour drive. Yeah, we'll try to get out there as much as we can, but we can't always promise. We have other things going on.
Right.
Lives, cases, whatever. So we go back as often as we could. And by the time we went back for the second visit, that's when they had told us. I asked the question, does she still see this creature or this thing in the house? Like, no, not anymore, but it's out on the property in that corner. That's the first time, remember, I think you and I went out there that night, because they're like, can you ask it to come inside? When they asked me to come.
Right.
So I went out there and I was like, okay, you're welcome to come in this house this one time tonight, whatever, but like I said, it's just for tonight with us. And we walked from the edge of that corner tree to the property, looked inside the house. Not even seconds later, I heard voices right away after that. And because you're with me, we go back to the back bedroom, and the rest of the people in the front are in like the living room, kitchen area. And you go, what? You hear something? I go, yeah, I just heard a voice. And back on recorder, that's when we hear that sounds like a female voice, and it's like, hey, I'm sorry. And it goes, like it's crying, whatever.
That's right.
And
That's
I'm
right.
like, I heard it, but I didn't hear what it said in the real time. But then I went back and listened to the recording, and I could hear that voice. And so, like, this thing, this girl, this creature, whatever it was, with the missing face, burned off, whatever, she was like apologizing, like, I didn't mean to scare her. That's why I never felt threatened by her after that. It was just the guy across the opposite end of the house, the one that was pacing, that seemed to give off the most resistance, I guess we'll say.
Right.
Because the owners would also say they would, because that's where the parents' bedroom was, on that side of the trailer, we'll call it. They would hear that door open and close right outside their bedroom. There was, if you came out their bedroom, to the left immediately was a washer and dryer, like, utility room, and there was a door that went outside right there. But we went and checked it out that first time, and the thing was like screwed shut, so you couldn't even open that door or close. But
Right.
you always hear that door open and close consistently, which is ironic because that's where that guy was pacing back and forth. What's up?
Oh, I noticed that the K2 was like completely stopped.
Oh.
So I reached over to like act like I was going to move the arm, and
Mhm.
it started blinking again.
Nice.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I haven't heard much. Well, of course, I've been telling our stories. I haven't really listened to much. I haven't heard too much conversations. The first time we were here last 2 weeks ago, we could hear conversations centered around those dolls. So I wish Dan was here tonight so he could.
I know.
Because between you two, I mean, and then listening, I could hear more things that way. That's all right though.
So you got videos for us tonight?
I do. Yep. What we'll play this evening is we started to play some of this last week time, but they were from a specific group. This time it's just kind of all over the board. There are different poltergeist activity and some ghosts. I just want opinions of our viewers to you, whatever, of things that were caught on camera. You can set it up here. So there are different types of ghosts or activity, poltergeist activities, depending on what it is. Sorry, I'm getting in trouble. Let me get this quick queued up here. So we'll start playing some of those videos here. Let's see what we got here. 1 second. Get those queued up. So like I said, the reason I brought these videos to us in the first place is because we were talking about haunted things to paranormal or just poltergeist and activities. So I started finding a bunch of videos online from people's in this day and age, everybody has cameras in their outside of their house, inside their house. You know, the Ring doorbells, Nest cameras, whatever. You have the Wise ones. So these are people that have caught things on their cameras, on these cameras at their houses. So this first one I'll play, and then we'll just talk about it here 1 second. Sorry, I had the sound turned off. We're going to play that video one more time, and it went kind of fast, so I'm going to loop it a couple of times, and then we'll come back and talk about it. 1 second. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What if that's just a pissed off cat spirit that's just knocking everything off?
I mean, it's possible. I don't know.
What's that loud sound? That it almost sounds like a vocalization.
It's, if you look to the left, the bookcase,
Yeah.
things are falling off that. It was like,
Right.
and then there's other things that are sliding off.
It just
Now-
sounded weird.
Yeah, it may have been like sound may have been delayed from the video itself. Like when you hear one thing, the sound may have came behind it,
Yeah.
whatever. So it probably wasn't lined up very well when they filmed this, when they shared the video. What do you think? You think it's a pissed off cat video or a cat spirit?
I don't know. It's odd. It just looked like if it is real, definitely something that's, angry, fed up or something. They're just kind of going around and just knocking this and this off and
Yeah.
everything. But I want to see something like flip the couches and stuff like that.
See, my thing is with those type of hauntings and stuff, I was tending to err on the side of caution. I was thinking, okay, now I was thinking, well, okay, this could be easily described.
Oh, yeah.
You could put strings on there to pull things off camera, like
Yeah.
the books, things across the way, those
Like-
vases, whatever that fell.
Remember a couple years ago that maybe even 3 years ago, that one video that was going around. Yeah, it was 3 years ago. The video that was going around with the school
Yeah.
and everything, and it was just all happening. It seemed real, but turned out it was fake. The
See, and I've
kids
heard
were-
otherwise since then. I've heard that the principal of the school has shared the video. He showed other angles of the videos. He's like, this is 100% real. He said, there's no way you can fake this stuff outside the windows and stuff like that. You would see things.
I thought there's some people that saw like an arm reach, from behind the wall
I don't know.
that had reached out and like pulled something, and you
Yeah.
see, yeah.
No, because it's over like in Ireland or somewhere,
Yeah.
or Scotland or something like that, and the principal is the one that claims that this is 100% real. So
Well, of course he wants notoriety for that too.
does he though?
I don't know.
I mean, if you have a school, you don't want that kind of bad.
To put it out there.
Well, I don't know if he's the one to put it out. I don't know who did it, but he came. I can't remember what show I saw that. It was like maybe.
Shoot, if I was him, if I did want it, I'd be trying my best to get that taken down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, he's going out there going, no, it's real.
Yeah, I think it was on Paranormal Caught on Camera. Maybe.
Yeah,
They the ones that showed when he actually talked. I can't remember. It's been a while, but
It's been like 3.5 years.
I think they're the one. That's when they put the video. They said it was legit. That they couldn't have faked that because of the situation where everything was, basically.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay.
All right, here's some more activity we'll play here. Oops. Why did that disappear? That was weird. once again, you got some kind of ghost
That's interesting.
throwing things out of the drawer, knives, whatever, or utensils, whatever, and then also the door kind of moving. Which, once again, is there something there physically running away, like a mouse or something, or whatever? And that's why the door moved, or a cat.
But when you're seeing the stuff being tossed,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't have that string effect, like that straight across pull. It looked like it came up and out and then kind of arched a bit and thrown really quick. I mean, it just, I don't know. A couple of those caught my eye, and it seemed real.
See, that's what I've thought about many a times when we go on locations. I mean, if these ghosts can technically, or can actually move things, like one of our famous cases we talked about previously, the house in the farmhouse with all the weapons everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I said, that's probably, if you want to be honest, that was probably my scariest night, because I was afraid of if there's any kind of ghost here, or poltergeist activity, if they can fire one of these weapons, throw a knife, whatever, we're dead, and nobody's gonna find us till the next day, because we're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just like we run that risk. We don't know what we're faced against sometimes.
There's 100 plus weapons, guns, laying all over the place.
Like every room had a weapon of some sort, of shotgun to a handgun to a throwing knife to a Chinese star.
And the fact that she didn't warn me. I got there before you
guys.
She didn't. And she left to go to work, and she's like, "Here's the key. Here, go."
I just thought I always found it interesting that she was like, "Well, I don't want to go in the house by myself, but you guys can."
Yeah.
I'm not going in the house.
I stayed there on the property for a good hour before y'all showed up, and I was hearing all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah. That was also the place we found the loaded Uzi up on the attic. Well, it wasn't an attic per se. It was a room above, like a...
You went in, you opened the closet, and there's a door that went up.
Which we just stumbled across.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I remember we were looking around. All of a sudden, look up and what's this do?
I walked up there, and I'm like, there's...
And just right in plain sight was a loaded Uzi.
Yeah, and it was still laying in the box, but it was open, and
it was loaded.
I was like, "Oh my god!"
It was insane. Like I said, I wish. That's my biggest regret of doing all these years. We never took any one picture of that place inside only.
We have video.
Yeah, but it's just not going to do it justice.
I know.
Because I mean, if we would have documented every inch of that house from outside inside the garage itself with the loaded gun, open gun safe with loaded weapons, shotguns to, rifles.
We had an M16 in there.
It's like, why didn't we take video of pictures of all this stuff and to prove it to everybody?
I think we were just too dumbfounded, shocked of what we were walking into.
Yeah. That was on also an earlier episode. Oh, God, it's been about a year ago probably at this point about a year ago, we finally got a final update where some closure to that case, where I found that the guy had, the son who had been living there with all those weapons, had succumbed to was it a car accident? I said he was being chased by the police. He ran from the police and he ended up wrecking the car, I think, and dying.
Yeah. So
that was one of our cases that was just bizarre. But that, once again, and think about those knives just out of a kitchen drawer. We're in this house with guns everywhere, and like I said, we could have been severely injured. Did you say M15? Wait, what? I bet it wasn't an M15.
M16.
I think you meant an AR, didn't you?
I don't know. It looked like something.
Yeah.
It didn't really look like that.
I can't remember. All I remember is we
I know
looked
what
at
that looks like. I know what that looks like, but when I
can't remember.
When we opened it, so shotguns, rifles, and then that, and I'm like, that looks like, because it resembled, back in the day when I was, having a toy looking just like that, and that was sitting right there.
Yeah, I just didn't like because the door was open right there. The garage door to where that was just wide open. It's just like, I remember we looked at it and I'm like, okay, we're gonna close this, and we locked that gun safe, whatever. That way nobody could come out and get him, or whatever. Not just for our safety, but for whatever. So, I don't know. It was bizarre, though. The whole case was bizarre. Alright, here's some other videos I'll play here. Give me 1 second. Like I said, we'll loop them a couple of times through, so... Oh, crap, hang on. There we go. Oh, damn it, it's already playing. I don't understand why it does that. Okay, so on that video, you see it as they caught it on security camera. For whatever reason, they decided to look at that. I don't know why, but you see the chair moving on its own, potentially. I mean,
Right.
and you can hear the guy's reaction was just like, "Oh shit," kind of a, okay. What do you say to that? It seems like a genuine reaction to me.
I wonder if they had stuff going on there, and that's why they went back and looked. And
Right. Something triggered them to go back and look for whatever reason, and they're probably surprised to what they had actually seen, and I don't know. Once again, because something that could be easily faked, of course, you put a fishing wire to that, spin it, but it doesn't really spin. It spins more of like I don't know. It's not real like jerky movement. It's real smooth. Like it just spins and
right.
like something had been sitting there and got up or spun it or whatever, and
Or bumped into it while they were
yeah,
passing it.
as they walked away or something. But I wish there was more backstory to some of these because I found them where it's just
They
a collection.
should do that before they post it. They need to have backstories to this.
Because if I can find more research on them, I always try to write it all down, and that way I can present it to the viewers or even to you guys. That we can prove, okay, what was this about? Kind of a thing. Was it truly paranormal, or okay, this is what it was, or it wasn't paranormal, kind of a thing. But or just the location itself. This is notorious to have this type of activity, and look, they caught it on camera, kind of a thing. But in this case, it was just a bunch of videos that I was able to find that had different types of activity. So, okay, let's go to the next one here. Oh, dang it, keep pulling that up. I don't know why it does that. Stop that. Hang on 1 second. I'm having some behind the scenes. There we go. Oh, why it keeps pulling it this way? Now, what do you want to click on it? Now, what do you want to click on it? Now, what do you want to click on it? Now, what do you want to click on it? Now, what do you want to click on it? Now, what do you want to click on it? Now, what do you want to click on it? Now, what do you want to click on it? Okay, what do you think about that one? I know you made some comments. Was the video
It's
played?
creepy.
You think it's, okay, in those videos like that, especially from that angle, I look at the logical stuff. Okay, is it spider webs? Is it whatever? In this case, it looks more like a figure, but it's like kind of a mist that's free floating.
It's almost like it almost transformed with full body, but it didn't, and it's just floating across.
Now, is it a spirit? I can't really tell on that one.
I know.
I'm kind of reserved about it. I don't know if I really believe that's what it is.
That's weird.
But it was interesting. I thought that was one of them. I was like, I got to look at this again. And I don't know. It looked like a figure to me, moving. But somebody's carport is either haunted or the land is haunted.
I mean, yeah, it's just walked right through.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just passing through. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
Okay,
why would they
that's
have a camera inside the garage?
Well, I do. In my house.
Do you?
Yeah. I do it because, okay, outside my house, I have my main doorbell camera that, because my house is shaped kind of weird, I can never see the driveway.
Gotcha.
I can see the angle of it, but I want to see, okay, is there somebody by my driveway doing whatever? So I put one above it, actually, so it points down. You've seen that one outside. It's pointed down, covers the whole driveway plus the yard. And then the doorbell captures most of the rest of the yard and everything. But then, especially when the boys were here, I was like, did they shut the garage door if they left, whatever, I don't know. So I put one inside the garage door because I can see straight out towards the street now. That's the reason I have one in my garage. So it's just like, I guess people have cameras. Yeah. Well, people put cameras inside their houses. Like these ones. And my wife's
we used to.
Yeah. My wife's like, don't put a camera in the house. She's like, oh.
Right now, the 4-year-old has figured out what those are, and he
really?
turns them or he puts them in jars. And so, you know, we just had to give up on it.
Yeah, that's funny. So, I mean, so there's different reasons people. I mean, it's nice to have extra layer of security. Not so much to spy on your own selves, but you know, the fact that somebody gets in your house, you have more evidence to say, okay, what did they take? This is who's in my house,
Right.
whatever. So, a lot of parents put them in their house, thinking, yell at their kids, "Hey, quit! You're supposed to be doing this or whatever." You know.
That's what we used to do.
It's the babysitter.
You know, watch him, you know. But
Yeah.
with the camera that we had, you know, you came over to our house that time,
Right.
and we had weird stuff that was happening inside the room and stuff like that
Oh, yeah.
around him. So,
Definitely.
I mean, I think it is cool. I always tell people, you know, use recorders in your house. You know, turn one on, go to sleep, put a camera around if you want some
Invite the ghost to
answers.
come talk to you.
Yeah, you'd be surprised when what comes over and sits down and might talk. And, you know, that freaks everybody out when
Well,
I
yeah,
tell them
as it should.
that. So.
Carl thought that was a good video too. 'Cause that one is a wow.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like
that one. Like I said, usually I'm more on the skeptic side with things, where I'm just like, meh. I can see that it's easy to debunk, or you know, it's
Right.
easy to explain. We'll say not. I hate using the word debunk because everybody uses that in the TV shows. Zach used to put it on big red letters across the screen, debunked. So now everybody uses that, and
Well,
Yeah.
ghost hunters used to, too. You
Yeah.
know, they used to.
so I try to say, you know, I try to find a logical explanation as to maybe what it was, and that one I'm just like, I want to say it's just smoke, mist, dust, whatever, residue. I don't know, something floating through the air. I mean, who knows? But it's a little peculiar.
Yeah.
It could be a damn spirit. Who knows? Why couldn't it be? So.
Why not?
All right, we got a couple more videos here. We got plenty of videos actually. So this next one I'd seen on I think Facebook first, and then I found it in this collection. I'm like, cool, because I didn't understand at first what it was. I could see what it was, but I didn't see it good enough. And I have actually some stills of this also too, so I'll show you what they're looking at here. So I'm gonna play this next video a couple times. It's just they knew about this house. It's an abandoned house apparently, and they find some stuff. Really? No, it's not gonna let me play. There we go.
There it is.
Wow. Yeah, it's like it busted up.
Holy
What?
go, 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 go. There it is.
I'm trying to see it. Wow. Yeah, it's like it busted up.
Holy
What?
go, 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 go. There it is.
I'm trying to see it. Wow.
Holy
What?
go, 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 go.
All right. So I put it 3 times just because you guys could see it. At first, I was kind of concerned because it looked real pixelated until they shine the lights on the actual house. Then you see that little figure pop up. Looks like a child spirit that pops up. I don't know, man. I mean, I have my reservations once again about it because it's like they focused on one specific window. Why? And that happens to be this spirit popped up. But the fact is, why would it?
They do kind of scan that, but
do.
that they go right to it. And
Yeah, and that's where I'm always real cautious on that stuff. Is like, okay, that could be easily faked. I mean, anything can be easily faked.
Well, and
Is it?
but a lot of times, when we're out doing stuff, how often does everybody see something right immediately? Usually, we're
Right.
panning around, really looking around. And you got a flashlight or something, you miss stuff.
Yeah,
It's easy to.
sure.
It doesn't happen until you go back and look at the video or something like that. You're like, oh shit, we
Yeah.
caught this.
But they knew right away. I mean, almost
Yeah.
like they fixed it on the window, and maybe that's the report behind it. If this specific window, you'll see something in that window. Who knows? Because they did, like you said, go window to window and kind of go back and forth. And then this thing, 1 minute isn't there, next minute's there.
Right.
And I added that little red circle on the video. I paused it, and
Oh, okay.
that's where it came from. That wasn't part of their video, but I had wanted to see what they had saw more as clear as I could get it, and zoomed in a little better. But I don't know. I'm curious. I would love to hear the story behind that because, like I said, obviously it's an abandoned house on a road that
Right.
everybody knows about. It's things. It's the old urban legend folklore you hear about that you want to go try to seek out.
Right.
And I've had my own share of run-ins like that, in places like that. I mean, it just you experience what you experience. So I hope that one's real. Renee was asking me. She remembered. She asked me if I remember my uncle Gilbert's house. I think I told this on the podcast at some point in the last year or so. But they had a house in a video. They lived in Colorado, and they bought a house out there or rented a house or whatever it was. Anyways, they. The reason they were even filming because they were just showing us the house because they came from Arizona and they moved to Colorado where it's cold and wintry and stuff.
Right.
So they were just filming their house, but they had the whole house itself was so bizarre. They it's like kind of reminds me of the Forum Theater as if somebody just up and left because inside the basement they had like a crawl space kind of area. It was filled with like earth or sand up to a certain point, but in there you could see a refrigerator like buried up, bicycles and stuff like the house. The artifacts were buried in there underneath the house for whatever reason.
What the hell?
I don't know. And somewhere I don't know if it's the same refrigerator or not. He told us, but there was a refrigerator that had like meat in there, like rotting meat. It's like it had been there for a while. This is like what is this all about? It's just peculiar. So they told us about how their girls would go to bed at night. They shared a room, I think, at the time, and they'd go in there and say goodnight to them. They shut the closet doors because they were a little freaked out, whatever. So they shut the closet doors, and they would. I don't know if they just go check on them later on, throughout the night, and the doors would be open, the closet doors would be open, or they would scream, whatever. They come running in, and the door would be open again. So something was definitely there. They'd hear footsteps walking down the hallways between the rooms and stuff like that. So, anyways, they were just videotaping the old VHS tape outside camcorder, filming the house, kind of just saying, this is our house, they were going to show us when they came to Kansas and all this stuff, and there's 4 of them, my uncle, my aunt, and their 2 daughters. They're filming outside the house, this is the house, and it's all grainy, they're just kind of going back and forth, kind of like that, going back and forth, and nothing. And they show us the video, we're like, who's that in your house? Like, what do you mean who's in our house? Because they had a big bay window in the front, kind of like that. Like, there's somebody in your house. You can see it on the video, so we wound it, and sure enough, you see this little, look like a kid, kind of like that, peek around the corner, and then peek back. And they're like, nobody's in the house. We were all outside, and then you can see all of them outside because they're all on camera.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, that's in our house. Kind of, they had a holy shit moment. We never noticed that. They hadn't noticed that when they brought the video to us.
And they still have to go home to
Yeah.
that,
Needless to say, they moved shortly after. Not only for that reason. I think they moved to a different town because my uncle had a different job. Because because we went and visited them. The only time I've been through their house in Colorado was we went to visit them, and that house was further away. I'm like, can we go see that house? I was like, and me being
Yeah.
the curious kid, I'm like, I want to see that house. Like, well, it's like an hour and some minutes away. Like, and it's the opposite way we were going, so we never had a chance to see it. But I was like, God, I would love to see that video again, because it was something was in their house. So, what's frozen? Yeah, I mean, you can't ignore. Latasha says she wakes up to knocking sounds. How can you ignore that? I mean, you can't. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Either you learn to live with it, or you tell them to stop, or whatever, So, all right, let's move on to the next video here. Where if I put this one? Okay, we'll move this one. This one is just it's inside their house. Obviously, they had enough activity that they wanted to get it on camera. Okay, so it's just a simple picture moving for whatever reason, but they obviously it
You
must
can
be
easily do that with a string.
yeah. And I was thinking,
mean-
well, what if it has upstairs you can run, and vibration things makes things alter like that. But notice none of the pictures next to it weren't moving.
Right.
I don't know what was so significant about that picture, if anything. But obviously, it's something they've probably experienced before that they felt compelled to take a video of this at some
Right.
point. I mean, I'd love to know. The pictures look old as hell, which is pretty cool. I mean,
I
would
wonder
love
if
to
they
know.
thought about just taking the picture down, moving it to a different spot, and seeing if
Maybe.
it continues on.
Maybe.
Hang
Yeah.
a different picture up there.
Yeah.
Why just that one picture?
Hey, I don't know. And once again, I err on the side of being a skeptic with some of these videos because it's like, yeah, everything's easy to, like you just said, you can put a string up there and move it. Yeah, you could, right? Or
Of course, you don't really see anything else move. I mean, I know it would be really hard to see it like fishing line or anything, but I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. It's
But the way it was like actually like sliding against the
like
wall.
swaying kind of back and forth.
Yeah, you can hear the sliding of the wall too. So it was still nice and tight to the wall. And it's just moving.
Well,
but-
that's just it. That's another thing too. If you're doing it, let's say if you're trying to manipulate that, I feel like your movements would be herky jerky kind of a thing. This is just like you said, back and forth, real smooth like and.
Mhm.
Not being, I mean, that's where my other side of me says, okay, maybe this is legit because
Right.
the movement's not erratic. Like you have to have it just right to fake that.
But yeah. But
Yeah.
my other question
That's
is
insane, Carl, yeah.
if you are a spirit and you're able to move stuff, why why are you just standing up there just
Well,
let me do this?
Let's say, okay, I don't. Like, I would love to know more of the background. Once again, these don't have any kind of background, so
Right.
take it with a grain of salt. But what if that's my uncle who's been passed away? Maybe that's my sign for my uncle showing me that, okay, hey, I'm still here, guys. Everything's okay. Kind of this is me. Or you say, hey, this is your house. We moved in. Or grandparents especially.
Right.
We moved into your house. Grandpa, we think we think you're here. Can you give us a sign that you're here or something? And next thing you know, that particular picture of my grandpa is moving only versus my grandma or somebody like. I mean, you never
True.
know. It's just stuff like that. It makes you wonder. I would love
True.
to find out more of these stories behind what is actually happening, but unfortunately, that's not the case. We got quite a few still. How much time we got left? We got about 20 minutes. We're good. Okay, so we'll continue on with some more videos here. Let's see what we got here. Okay. This one was interesting too. Okay. So there's that one. At first I wanted to say it was just a person walking by, no biggie, but then at the end you see it kind of dissipate. And it had a weird movement, kind of like not really a hunchback, but like I don't know, just
Had
an
a
odd.
weird stride.
Yeah, it just something about it was odd, and obviously they caught it on their DVR camera.
What's kind of like lit up in front? To me, it looks like a female,
I thought the same.
but it looks like, like out front there's something kind of like illuminating.
I can play it again.
Yeah.
House looked like it reminded me of like this girl going to class. It looked like she had a book in her hand, like the old type
Book,
of books
yeah,
or something.
something.
Or
But from
Yeah.
the camera view, it kind of made it look like it was like glowing, kind of like lights and
Yeah.
stuff.
Seen, and based upon my own personal experience with the Ring cameras I've had, I've seen where things have done something similar to it. So my first impression was, this I can explain this, but then when it starts to dissipate, I couldn't explain that. Because what the camera does sometimes, if it's depending on the strength of the signal to the cameras, the Wi-Fi, you'll get like a blurred, pixelated effect kind of a thing. And it's like, ooh, ghost. But it's not really. But this one disappears. That's when I was like, well, shit, mine doesn't do that.
Yeah, kind of faded out a couple times, and then it
Yeah.
just starts to really fade.
Yeah, so I can play it again real quick here so you can see what Jason's asking about. In the front of her, you said it's in front of her, she has something?
Yeah, it just looks like something
Okay,
in front. I don't know.
we can look at it again.
Okay.
So I thought that was the book. in
Okay.
hand.
Could be.
Look
Yeah.
at her legs while she walks.
I know. It just really seems weird. Carl says it's fake.
I saw
no
that
matter
too.
what, but
Yeah, the glowing thing Jason's talking about, I thought that was the book. Like a book, whatever, in her hand, maybe. That she was holding like a school book or something, or whatever else. Yeah,
could be something residual, and it's just now getting caught.
could be.
That could have been that person's last walk before something tragic happened.
Yeah. On the way to school or wherever,
Something.
to work or whatever. It just, her movement was odd. That's why I didn't
Yeah.
know. It just, I don't study people's walks that often, but that one just gave me kind of a weird feeling behind the walking itself. The Walking Dead. Yeah. There's more, Rhea. Don't worry. There's more similar to this that I questioned also too. So, okay, here's another one. So Jason's first reaction was he thought somebody was just putting something out, like out the door. I hope you guys see it. It was on the deck itself. The figure itself was moving in and out of the door. Or, let me rephrase that, was coming from outside inside. Now, the high-speed scrubbing, that was the person's video. They were doing that back and forth. That wasn't me doing that. It's like somebody walked into the house or was... Hold on just a second, Natasha. I don't know. I thought I could see like a hat and a face, whatever, and then like a body and like jeans maybe. Now, that's once again that's where I err on the side of caution. It's like, well, maybe it's just because there's not a lot of light being
Right.
given. Maybe it's just somebody in the house walking into the house, whatever, and it looked weird, but they thought it was a spirit. But you would think if you're going to post that, hopefully that is something that you're not going to try to fake whatever. You're going to be like, well, that's not any of us. That's why I'm posting this. So
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what to think of that. It looked like a spirit caught on camera to me, possibly, or it could be a fake. So I'm like 50-50 on that one. But I figured I'd show it anyways, and let you guys form your own opinions. So, to answer Latasha's question, what do I consider someone getting scratched? Oh, is it a demon or just a mad spirit? So somebody getting scratched, what do you think that is? I mean, it depends on the situation, honestly.
I think it depends on what's going on. You might have to like pay attention to everything else going on around you or
Sure.
inside the house. Because I mean, other spirits can manipulate and like,
Yeah,
especially if they want you out or just want to get your attention.
right.
I wouldn't necessarily call it demonic or demon or anything
Right.
like that. That's like the go-to thing that everybody likes to go toward because I mean it's scary.
Yeah, you're being
But-
physically attacked. Yep.
Honestly, I think any kind of spirit could do it. I think you need to talk to it, try to figure out,
Right.
you know, hey, let's try to figure this out because
Yeah.
you know I live here and you don't need to be doing that kind of crap to myself or anybody.
Also know that every time you see the 3 scratches or 3 of anything, everybody immediately thinks it's demonic because of the whole mocking of the Trinity. And that's seems to be the sign of, demonic activity potentially. So when you get scratched 3 long scratches or whatever, they oh crap, that's probably the demon scratched me. Maybe it
But
was.
if you
Maybe it
scratch
wasn't.
somebody, your pinky's down here, your thumb's over here. So these 3 are kind of like the main ones.
I've never scratched anybody, so I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just thinking, like,
Right.
like if I was to scratch myself,
Yeah.
most of the time it's gonna be most prominent.
Yeah.
Those 3 fingers.
Well, I do find it curious when people get not so much the scratches like your typical scratch, like you scratch your arm or something, but the burn scratch marks. There was some like
Yeah.
3, like it's like it's searing your skin, but it's also mostly 3. I mean, I don't know, not always,
Or
but
when
sometimes.
you get a handprint on your
Mm-hmm.
leg.
Yeah. Well, those are bruises. Yeah.
Yeah, Renee.
Yeah. But it just depends on the situation. I mean, could it be demonic? Quite possibly. Could it be just an angry spirit? Once again, quite possibly. Or it could just be somebody who's, for whatever reason, decided to scratch you, and that's what that's what happened.
Right.
Or maybe, like Jason said earlier, maybe it's the ghost of an animal, a cat, that scratched you. I mean, I've never really thought about animal or spirits until we went to a couple occasions where we had
Yeah.
actual activity with animal spirits, and it's just like, why not?
They're in Wilson.
They were live. Well,
Yeah.
Rose Hill,
Yeah.
the house down there with the dog, the famous we talked about with the dog down there with the weird. I was wearing shorts. It was hot, middle of summer, and I could feel something brushing against my leg, like a dog would walk by you. And I'm like, well, I grabbed the old millimeter and raised it from ceiling to my ankle or down by the ground. Nothing would give me any kind of reading except by the ground.
Right.
Where the dog was. That's also the one we played with the SB7. We were asking because the dog died in the house with the owner, not at the same time, but at one point. We were asking, give us the dog's name, and clear as day through the SB7 spirit box it says Zoe. That's not a common name to be saying over radio stations or whatever. So, the one is your what? Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Latasha said she had a ghost turn on the TV off and on. Yeah, that happens a lot too. Now, it could be the spirit ghost of a child, we'll say, maybe playing around. It could be a spirit, it could be a poltergeist for all it matters, the affecting electricity in and out, whatever kind of pulsating thing. That's possible too. I mean, it just depends. We have to do more research and more, investigate in the actual location to say, well,
Right.
this is what we think it is, or this is 100% what it is possibly. And we can't say 100%, but you know what I mean. So, all right. So that last one could be fake, could be real. Nobody knows. So there's more. Like I said, I got quite a few. I gotta assume that other kids are being baptized. I gotta assume that other kids are being baptized. kids are being baptized. I mean, I gotta assume that other kids are being baptized. Okay.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You hear two people talking.
Right.
Jason pointed out before the second guy comes behind the truck, there's a black shadow underneath by the tree in the first place.
Right where that guy
That fades out
disappears.
where the guy's heading. When I first saw it, I think it's possibly just two people on camera and whatever reason the camera glitches out, whatever. But the thing is, once they go to the post and the tree, you don't see them after that anymore, which could be because they're just out of range. Maybe it was so dark on that corner, that side of the screen, or
It picks up the road and everything, and they just fade.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm once
Maybe
again,
this is the new thing, the Ring cameras and all that, capturing stuff that we normally wouldn't capture.
well, I caught what I caught on there.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
caught what you caught.
It was enough that Roth asked, or not Roth, but Dan asked me, hey, you still have the Ring camera set up? I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay, because somebody's having some activities similar to yours down the street from you
Yeah,
that he knows, and then we may get into the house possibly.
sweet.
So, and we've seen things outside. After the show, we leave, we go outside, whatever, and we look at things, and we've seen things across the street that we can't explain when, you know, homeowners out of town. Where I live is kind of in all my neighbors are retired, except for me, of course. So.
Leo's in the retirement home area.
I mean, that's okay. They keep their yards, mowed and everything, and they're on top of things. And they look around, and we got a watchful eye for our house, so we're not here. But the neighbor across the street leaves for a majority of the year. He has a house out in Florida that he leaves for, and we come outside, we notice that there's shadows darting around the house in pitch blackness that we can see. We've seen multiple times that are setting off motion sensors out there by their yard. It's pretty craziness, but I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this one, that it's real or it's fake, because like I said, I can make a claim for either side of it.
It's interesting. That's true.
The fact you can hear two voices like having a conversation, it leads me to I can't even talk. It leads me to think that it's two people walking by and the camera just happened to glitch. But
Yeah,
maybe it's real. Hopefully it's real. Hope everything's paranormal.
I know.
Doesn't mean it is, but I hope it is. All right, we got let's see how many more videos we got here. We can make through. I got about 5 or 6 more videos I think I can play, so we'll continue on. I'm trying to remember if this is the next one. Okay, this next one is really hard to see, so we have to focus because it's, once again, these are IR cameras at night when you turn them on. Depending on the light source behind them, they're kind of hard to see. But the thing is, you want to focus on, there's 2 doors in this, there's 2, like a bedroom door and another door, like a hallway, we'll say. Focus on the doorways. They go from left to right. You'll see this thing move across, but I can't clean it up any better than what it is. So, but you'll see the movement. So, if I click on it, that is. Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Sorry, I probably should have warned you guys about the alarm at the end. I forgot. You know, I like this video to a degree. You see this thing move across the screen left to right. It's real grainy, like I said, once again, because it's not giving off a lot of. That's something. A prime example. It's not giving off a lot of light. So when the camera hits something from an IR light, you should see it glowing a little bit more brighter if it's a real person potentially. It'll give more mass to it. This thing, very grainy. You can't really see it, which I like. You hear the movement, you hear the banging of the whatever, like a door or something, and then it triggers the alarm.
It's not like a real shadow figure. You can
No.
actually make clothes out and everything.
It's real transparent too, though. At
Yeah.
the same token, it's just like I kind of like it.
But
I
you
mean,
can hear the footsteps.
Oh yeah.
You know, leading up.
All
Like
the
they're
movement.
coming in and going right up the stairs, like, you know. But it's not like residual because it actually is doing something enough to make the alarm go off.
Yeah. Like I want to know, did it open the doors at the couple of bangs towards the end before the alarm goes off? Or is it just a real person and it's just because it's so dim lit that they can't pick up the full body and it's just a natural explanation. But
Could
once
be, but
again,
I would think that it would be just the figure would be darker. I mean, we've
it
seen
should be glowing more.
right, and
white.
we see ourselves in
Yeah.
that walk through a room from a distance, and you're like, oh, I know, oh, you know, that's Dan or that's Jake.
I mean, you're glowing white mass. You see
Yeah.
it a little better because you have mass to where an IR light can bounce off of you and pick you up. In this case, it picks nothing up, and the video is pretty crystal clear as far as what's in the room itself. So yeah. Sorry, I got confused by the comments. Or yeah. But no, I said I kind of like it. Like I said, if it's real, man, that's awesome. Like I said, it takes, if you're gonna put that out there, you have to be a total jerk to be faking that. But I mean, to even want to post something like that, if you know the real answer behind it. But
Yeah.
to me, I feel like it's compelling enough that this person's like, holy shit, I caught something that I can't explain. What do you guys think? So I like it. I got a few more here, and then we're almost at the end of the show. So what we got here? Okay, this one's a little bit longer. There's a couple of these. The last few ones are real longer. Not long, about a minute, I say, versus the seconds. That's the only difference in the two. So this one's really, to me, interesting. Kinda.
Caralho, bicho, que é isso, mano? Cuidado, Judá.
Calma, calma.
Cuidado, mano. Que é isso, mano?
Mano, não tem nada.
Caralho, mano. Que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano. Mano, que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano. Bora, mano.
É doido, Deus me livre, mano.
Vai, mano. Vai, mano. Vai, mano. Vai, mano. Vai, mano. Corre, corre. Caralho, mano, que é isso, bicho? Caralho, bicho, que é isso, mano? Cuidado, Judá.
Calma, calma.
Cuidado, mano, que é isso, mano?
Mano, não tem nada.
Caralho, mano, que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano. Mano, que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano, bora, mano.
É doido, Deus me livre, mano.
Vai, mano, vai, mano. Vai, mano, vai, mano. Vai, mano. Corre, corre. Caralho, mano, que é isso, bicho?
Okay. That's what I kind of like. I mean, because
The intensity of it.
Yeah, the way I'm reading this is they obviously heard maybe whatever reason kind of movement, an alarm went off, something, whatever, at this place that they. I mean, it's obviously in a foreign country. I can't tell what the language is. I want to say it's like Arabic, maybe. It sounds more not. It doesn't sound like Spanish or whatever. But anyway, they're patrolling, obviously, trying to figure out the source of this, and this door is banging. The fact they go through it, I mean, you think it would. If I'm going to fake it, I'm going to stop it so I can go through the door. But these doors are still moving as they pass through it. And you know, they're surveying the room and clearing the room. And as they walk down the corridor more, you hear the glass breaking that scares them enough that they kind of run.
Right.
So, I mean, it sounds like genuine reactions to me.
Especially when you hear that breaking or shatter or something, you know, they
Mhm.
take off.
Mhm.
That you can hear they're a little freaked out.
Yeah.
There they are, a bunch of guys with guns.
Yeah. Now, it couldn't. No, here's the opposite. Where is it the wind swirling in there? I don't know if the windows are broken out in that room. Could it be
True.
creating an effect, a vacuum effect, we'll call it? I don't know. But the fact is, they seem startled enough to where, like, we don't say, "Ow, it's just the freaking wind," or
Right.
whatever, you know. I don't speak that language, but it's the fact that it seems genuine reactions to me. It's interesting. Like I said, is it paranormal? I don't know.
Right.
It's cool enough to where they posted on the same site, whatever. So, yeah, I agree. People are saying that's weird. I would agree with that. All right, got a few more here, and then we'll give it a wrap. Jason's gonna wrap. What? This one's a little longer too.
It's already 9:01.
I know. Oh shit, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was less. Okay, well, we got 3 more videos, guys. Bear with us. We're almost done. Okay. I don't know. I mean, obviously investigating and
It's interesting.
like that shower curtain moves, whatever. And it's
Because you
just
can
not
hear
one
that
side.
sound
Yeah.
from behind them.
And they're like, "What the?" You know, you're in cuss. What the fuck? Because it's like, I think it was a girl who had fingernail polish.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, can you set up something to remote control those curtains? Yes, but you think it'd be both of them, not just one side. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, the reaction seemed kind of genuine. I mean, she makes an exit for the door after that, but
Yeah, I wish we could see more of the video. Like,
Mhm.
instead of just that one clip, then did they just walk away?
right,
As
yeah,
if, oh, okay, well, that happened, so let's keep on moving.
yeah.
You know, that's when I kind of think, you just fake that for camera.
You question a little bit, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You need to figure out how did that just move,
yeah,
you know. But, I don't know, when we did, Fort Dodge, there's no power, no water, nothing there.
right,
And weird things were happening everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
hospitals hold
All that secret.
all that energy right there,
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, like I said, it's interesting. Is it paranormal? Maybe. Is it could be faked? Of course, it could be. So, all right, a couple more videos here, and then we'll wrap it up. These next two are they're not videos, unfortunately. They're just stills, but we'll just discuss them.
like how?
Well, I mean, what it is, you see the face in the picture.
Yeah.
Let me just get out of that real quick. I question. I had a video. God, I wish I could find this. Maybe it was a picture of a case that somebody sent to me years ago. They were in Kentucky of all places. I don't know why they found us in Kansas, but I explained to her how far we were away, and I said, if you need help, I can reach out to a team closer to you guys, whatever, or let me know. Maybe, who knows? We'll get squirrely and drive down there. She said her grandson would always see something like this where things would just be weird happening, and the TV always had a reflection like that on there. Now, she sent me a picture. I'll have to go try to find it. Hopefully I still have access to the email account.
A few years ago.
It's been, I think, God, when I first took over the team, I want to say, so it's been about 5 or 6 years at this point.
Yeah.
She had a reflection like that. To me, I thought, okay, it's just you in the picture. I think I showed you guys one time. It's been
yeah, that
we zoomed
sounds
in on it,
familiar.
and it's like, well, no, that's something else. But in this case, same thing, where you see a image of something in the TV screen behind them. Okay, once again, it's a picture of a person, like a kid, the boy right there. Is it the person taking the camera? They're taking the photo itself. Is it just their reflection in the tube, whatever? Maybe. Or is it, but the face looks kind of distorted and kind of a little unusual.
And it's right up front and close. I mean, that's just...
Like it's peering through whatever or something.
Right.
It's a little weird. I don't know. I'm like I said, it's one of those I can always go 50-50 on, where I can explain that. It's your mom taking the picture, your grandma taking the picture, or aunt, whoever.
But why would the face be so up close?
And that's an old style TV, though, so it's kind of rounded, like,
Right, but I still wouldn't
I don't
imagine how even somebody in front of him, their reflection would, like, show up like that.
Yeah. Sorry, laughing at Carl's comment. Beetlejuice. That's what it looked like, actually, with the dark circle around the eyes and the white hair. And yeah, I thought it was a clown at first, but yeah.
Right.
But I think it's actual woman in there with kind of.
It does look like a woman.
Yeah, with blonde hair or white hair or something, but I don't know.
It's not a freeze frame of a movie?
Yeah, could be. I mean, what's behind them? Yeah, it's just it's a reflection all behind. Maybe they're watching Beetlejuice behind. I mean you don't know.
It could be a show.
Well, and it could also be, let's say if you have some kind of picture, like a frame right next to you of your grandmother, whoever, and you somehow the light refracts off of that somehow. I don't know. I mean, a scientist would say, I'm not a scientist by any means, but they would say, nah, this is how I would explain it in similar fashion. It's not paranormal at all. It's this, it's that. You're getting an image off something bouncing off wherever, so. I mean, it's cool for what it is, but like I said, I had a lady send me something like that too before, and I'm just like, I was picking it apart right away. I'm like, that's just you, and your kid. And then I looked at it, zoomed in, and then I was like, well, no, actually, that's not you. So, I don't remember, Latasha. I'll have to find that. I can't remember if we had that or not. So. All right, one more thing here, and then we'll be wrapping it up soon. So this is another still right here. Once again, I'm going to pick it apart when we're done, just so you know, because that's what I do. It's another still image of something. Supposedly a ghostly image caught on camera of something in the field. I don't know what you think.
I mean,
it could be real, it could be fake once again. I mean, it's just a picture of something in a field.
Yeah, it looks like a woman standing there.
Yeah. But there's also some transparency to it. You can't see her face very well. Once again, It's night, but still. I mean, it's hard to say 100%.
It could be just an inserted.
Oops, sorry.
Make
a noise.
Could use the camera to insert that.
Yeah.
Or computer to do that.
It could be matrixing, it could be pareidolia, where you think you see what you see or whatever. It's just.
I don't know what it would be. I mean, other than it looks like a dress.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a woman out in the whatever field, forest, wherever they're at, backyard. It's always cracked me up because I saw another similar post that said. Of a picture similar to this, and it said, why do the ghosts always have to have white on? A white dress or a blue dress or You know what I'm saying? The typical ghost hauntings. It's like, why do they always wear the same type of clothing? Is that really a thing? Or it goes back to my question of why do ghosts always peek around the corner? We see this a lot. I was talking to my wife about that just recently because we're seeing things in the house, which I was going to bring up for the show because of these things, the dolls. She's been seeing things in the house a lot more that with the lights on, and it's been freaking her out. She said she was sitting on our upstairs couch, and we have wood floors in the kitchen area, and she said this low black thing was crawling, and she looked at it, and she thought it was maybe one of her sons. I don't know where I was at that time. Maybe I was in the bedroom asleep or something or whatever. But she was there next to our youngest son, who was sleeping on the couch next to her. So it wasn't him, and our oldest one is in the other room, so she didn't know what it was, but she said it scared the shit out of her, basically. And it happened within the week after last 2 weeks, since we brought these dolls in. Now, is it the dolls themselves? I don't know.
Does she know they're here?
I told her after the fact. That's why we're talking about them. So, she's been seeing a lot more things. Well, I think I even asked her, because she's been seeing things, once again, peeking around the corners, like I've been seeing. She thought it was one of them was our youngest son again, because she said she saw a full head of hair, kind of same, always kind of a rounded head, like we've seen that in that video they captured with the thing in the window. It's always the same type of hair, and that's kind of what my son's hairs look like a little bit, sort of. I don't know. I've seen those on so many locations, a child spirit like that. It's just crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's weird. That's why I like doing stuff like this. I'm not afraid to push, the envelope, whatever, or push buttons, we'll say. Or I don't think these dolls are bad dolls or anything by any means, but do they attract more things in here? I don't know, possibly. Or is it stuff we have, like I said, the equipment we use, to the topics we talk about, or just every little thing we do? I mean, is it possible we're stirring this stuff up? Maybe. Conjuring is the word you want to say. I mean, we have haunted stuff everywhere on the table right there. And I have equipment everywhere, right within arm's reach, so it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, plus we are beacons of, things that can be attached to us. We have, some people believe they have, spirits attached to them, spirit guides to a spirit of a loved one, attached to you. I mean, who's to say it can't be that? But, yep, things are going on definitely around the house again, so.
Well, when are we coming over?
I don't know, I was telling my wife about that. The day they were supposed to be out of town, but Leo ended up staying. We were going to do an investigation here, and I was ready to do it, but I don't know. I'm ready anytime. It's just, at the same time, I don't like doing stuff in my own house because I don't want to open up things that maybe weren't there or already are here, and then opening more. But I've been pushing it more and more anymore. Especially after, one of my loved ones that passed away, I've been trying to reach out to them in the moment and see if I can't get a connection immediately.
Right.
But it is what it is, so. Gotcha. I don't know. So what do you think about all this stuff? I mean, things are easily faked, but also could be real. I mean, it's kind of a matter of opinion. Or, I mean, like I said, it's hard to push our points across when you got people doing fake things, but most of the time, what if they are real?
I mean, based on the stuff that I've seen in person, and doing all this for over how many years?
Right.
I see certain videos and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, it doesn't really work that way, or it doesn't really appear that way when you see stuff move, or I don't know. I always like to tell people, what you see in Hollywood is not actually how it is in real life.
Of course.
So it's so much different.
Yeah.
In most, 99% of the time.
Sometimes it's even scarier than you can even imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, what they put on screen is not what you see in real life, and you're like,
No.
holy shit, I can't describe what I've seen.
Right.
And I'm terrified. So.
Like the people coming off getting back on the bus tour from the forum, they always, they just look at me like, I can't explain what I just saw.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Well, the best part of that is when they tell you about what they've seen, and it's shit we've seen, without telling them. Like, well, yeah, that's exactly what we experienced, especially at the Forum Theater or whatever. We used to go into there. I'm just like, I love that because, like, you didn't know that. You could have known that. We didn't advertise that at the time. Right. So we didn't have a podcast at the time when you were doing those tours.
No, and
If so, we were in between
kind of in between, but I didn't talk about stuff, and we weren't there enough
You stayed.
Yeah.
You try to focus mostly on the historical side of things, but then
Yeah.
also some of the experiences, but not to that level.
Yeah, I try to tell the story of the history to kind of give them an idea of where they're at.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they'll start hearing voices or their
Mhm.
children, and I'm like, by the way, there's no children in this place, you know?
Sure.
But, you know,
Right.
you can't see them, but, you know, I guess maybe they are here. You just can't see them.
Right.
You know, unless you know, who wants to spend the night? And, you know, I'd get like one person to go. Me and the rest of the people are like, hell no.
And most of the time, that one person would probably not make it through the night. Sometimes
No.
we've had those investigations. Stay night with us here, and like, I gotta go. I got this. I got that. Family, whatever, dog.
Yeah, they came to do this all night. They'd have some freaky stuff happen, and
Yeah.
then when it comes to like actually, all right, roll out your sleeping bag and let's go. And they're like, oh, I gotta things. To
I gotta
do
work in the morning.
tomorrow.
I'll be up early. I got a million excuses.
They're like, oh yes, had a great time, thanks,
Yes,
you
yeah.
know.
Yep.
And then you never hear from them again. They never
Yeah.
come back.
Yep. And a few that actually stayed with us and made the team. You know,
Yeah.
Larry and Cheryl. They were one of the first ones that did that with us, and they
Yeah.
okay, welcome aboard. If you can hang out with us crazy nights all night, you're welcome. So, all right.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I would agree with everything. Good comments tonight, guys. Sorry we didn't get to go through all of them, but yeah, like I said, if you ever have any comments or anything, questions you have, feel free to email us. It's crypticheartland@gmail.com. I check the email periodically, and if you have any questions or anything from us, don't hesitate to reach out. Or if you want to have us talk about a certain subject matter, let me know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're always open to everything. We're always trying to push the envelope, or trying to find subject matter that we feel entertaining to you and us, so, or that we've had experiences with. So, definitely. All right, y'all. Well, this has been Cryptic Heartland episode number 145. We're close, 5 away from the 150th episode. We may have something planned for that. We're trying to work on some things behind the scenes. Hopefully, it works out.
Yep.
Either way, you'll be entertained. We'll make something happen. So, yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
And keep an eye out for announcements for the Wamigo event too. So.
Yep. Tentatively scheduled right now for November 6th. It's you have to investigate multiple locations. We've been there. You guys have been there. I say we.
Yeah.
As a team,
You
we've been
haven't.
there multiple times. Have experienced different things.
Yep.
Plus, it's cool for what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's in Kansas, which is awesome. So, definitely want to make sure you attend that if you can. Plus, it gives you a chance to investigate with the team, have your own experiences with the team and whatnot, and your own experiences. So, yeah, that's awesome. And we have other stuff in the works. Hopefully, the things will lighten up a little bit with this COVID stuff, and we can start doing more public events or even private. And you never know, we might bring one of you, the viewers, along to tag along with us on investigations. So, stay tuned, because why not? We have some contests going on. But, all right, y'all. This has been Cryptic Heartland episode number 145. I'm the floating head, Leo. Over there you got Jason. And then the two dolls, maybe Cuddles and Clementine, or maybe the ghost of Rosemary. You never know. Hopefully next week we'll have more in-studio guests with us, or I say guests, we'll have more in-studio people with us. I think Jake's coming back possibly, and probably Dan.
Yeah.
He's available, so, and maybe Andy. Who knows? So, but otherwise, this has been Cryptic Heartland episode 145. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.